How's it going, everyone? My name is frontier.setter, and this is a quick overview of the modifications I've made to the G-Code Incog Eclipse holster. Alright, first things first, got some snap caps in the mag there. Chamber is empty. So I'm sure you've seen this all before, but this is the holster in all of its tactical fuzz glory. I'll be talking about the pros and cons of this particular holster, why I picked the setup I did, and modifications I've made to increase the overall comfort and carryability of this holster, if that even is a word. As you can see here, G-Code's Appendix is precision formed. I'm not entirely sure how they managed to get all the detail in here, but it's definitely not just a simple vacuum press or anything like that. Everything is very precise, and there's no wrinkles in the Kydex, which is something that you can see in a lot of other Kydex makers. Not that there's anything wrong with using a vacuum or a press for Kydex, but it's just it's amazing how much clarity and detail they have within the holster itself. It's not something that you see in a lot of other makers. So the idea for this particular holster that I wanted was something that was small, had a nice big sweat guard here for comfort, and also something that did not have a mag caddy. I have another holster right here. This one is made by T5 Custom Kydex, and as you can see here, it's kind of big. It's comfortable, but it's big, and it does have a mag caddy. So my idea for this one was to do away with that, and I usually just carry the mag in my pocket now, and this is just going to be in my kind of 1 o'clock position for Appendix. So nice, I wanted something nice and small, which is, I found this. So during checkout, you can actually opt for either the standard Mojo or the Super Mojo. As you can see here, the Mojo is pretty much just a piece of aluminum that has 6 tapped screw holes that you can use to adjust the cant, the angle of the clip here, just like that. And it works pretty well, and it adds that layer of customizability. But because I carry Appendix in the 1 o'clock position mostly, I pretty much just leave the angle straight up and down. Now what I don't like is the Super Mojo. I'm not sure why people would even pick this setup, maybe because it puts the clip kind of more in the middle of the holster, but the whole point is that I wanted something that didn't increase size, and as you can see with the pictures here, the Super Mojo actually adds a little bit of thickness. And another thing that I've noticed about the Super Mojo is that it actually puts the clip right over where you would index your finger when you draw. So, you know, obviously when you draw your gun, you want a good placement of your palm right deep as far as you can in the groove, and then you want to put your finger kind of right above the trigger guard. So when you pull, you won't be, you know, your index finger is indexed. You won't be riding on the trigger as you pull. You know, you won't be doing that. You'll be just riding out like this, which is what you would want to be doing. But when they put the clip right there, it just gets in the way of your indexing, and it's just, I don't know, maybe it works for some people, but it doesn't work for me, so that's why I picked the standard Mojo. I think it was a good choice for this setup. Now, as you can see here, the clip I have on the holster now is not the default clip. This is what it ships with. This is a Haley strategic clip, and I know this might be a little controversial, but I do not like this design. I understand its benefits. It kind of angles the gun deeper into your abdomen, pushing it in, but I found that it was just really bulky, and it actually made me print more than if I didn't have this clip. So I replaced that clip with the Raven Concealment Overhook clip, as you can see here. It puts the clip a lot closer to the holster. There's no more room, which actually streamlines this whole holster. And because the gun isn't just pressing into my belly anymore, it just kind of stays up, I feel like it's just a lot more comfortable for me to wear. And as you can see here, the Raven concealment clips perfectly fit a 1.5 belt, and the belt I'm currently using is the Apogee belt by Boxer Tactical. And you can see with the Haley strategic clip, there's a little bit of wiggle room. Not that you really notice it that much when it's, you know, in your pants and everything, just because of the felt really puts a good friction on the holster, but it's just something that I've noted that I really don't like. And as you can see, the Raven concealment clip is slightly shorter than the Haley one. This actually adjusts the ride height just enough for me to get a perfect draw every time. I know ride height is going to be different from shooter to shooter, but this is just something that worked out perfectly for me. So I'd say give it a try if you're having difficulty getting the right ride height for your holster. So one mod that I have to make on every holster like this is the one right here. A lot of these holsters have this, by default, it's a very 90-degree angle, and this is the portion that sits right into your inner thigh. So when you're sitting down, when you're moving around, this thing just digs right into you. I even had to do this with the T5 custom one right here. And having this rounded off makes it so much more comfortable. If you have issues with that hot spot, just take a knife, go at it nice and slow so you don't take off too much Kydex, and then just sand it down with some sandpaper, and it looks like new. You can't even tell that I did that myself. So, nice little improvement there. So, obviously the HK USP has an external safety. At least this one, because this is the version 1. And because it has an external safety, what G-Code does is it likes to cover the whole thing by default. So, when I got this holster, this part rode all the way up, pretty much covering the whole back spot here. But the problem was, it would stick out, and I had to just grind that down to make it a little bit more beveled so it wouldn't cut right into my abdomen. And if you do carry a USP, I don't think many people do it nowadays, but if you do have that problem, it's a pretty simple fix. You just take a Dremel tool, cut away right down. You can leave a partial portion of the safety lever open, and it still works fine. You can't really activate it or deactivate it when it's in this position because it covers the front, and this makes it so much more comfortable. I also had to shave off some of the tactical fuzz on that portion too, because that's actually where my thumb sits when I go and grab the grip. And the felt actually caused friction, and I don't like that on my holster because I want this to be a nice, easy pull. I don't want any kind of friction rubbing against my thumb as I draw the gun, as you can see here. See, my thumb just sits right there, and when I pull, I'm in a perfect grip for shooting, and that's just what I like to do. But yeah, quick little video there. So yeah, I guess that just about covers it. I guess the whole takeaway is don't be afraid to modify the holsters that you bought, that you put money into, because it's good to tailor fit these things to each shooter. If you don't like how something feels, you're going to be less likely to carry it. Kydex is very simple to work with, at least, you know, when you're not molding it. All you have to do is take a sharp knife, whittle it down, sand it down, and then there you go. It still remains pretty durable, and that's about that. I hope you enjoyed watching, and like and subscribe. If you have any questions, comment down below, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Always remember to stay tactically kawaii.